Hello, this is Taylor with Music Shop 360. For our tutorial today, we are going to be taking a brief overview of the work orders module in Music Shop 360. So this is a big one. Now, work orders is a pretty in-depth module in the system, and we will certainly make some more in-depth and specific tutorials to cover work orders as well. So today it's going to be more of a general overview. So again, keep that in mind. We'll do some additional videos to help out as well, but just want to give you a good look at it today. So we are, as you can see, we're logged into the system. We have the register pulled up. The way that you will access work orders is you will come over here to modules and you'll slide down to work orders and click into it. And you can see it's going to bring up a general look or kind of a master list of really everything that you're currently working on in store. You can also see completed projects and that sort of thing as well. So you can look historically too. For our purposes here, we just have kind of more active ones that are showing up. You do have a good number of filters here that you can set as well if you want to see, what a specific technician is working on, different statuses, if you have multiple locations, that sort of thing. It's all managed right from here. But as we can see, Shaylee has a couple items she needs to pick up. Mars has one that's in process that we're working on. Red Test has brought an item in, but we haven't started working on it. And we have one for McKinley in the same status as well. All right. And so again, this is the design here is to allow your intake folks to be able to just pull this up at a glance, see what's going on. Also, your cashiers or maybe sales associates, if one of these customers calls in, they're looking for an update, they would be able to pull the screen up and at a glance be able to share the appropriate information with the customers. Now, to create a new work order, you have a couple different ways that you can do that. For your intake folks, if they're working out of the register, they would always have access to this create new button. If we click on it, you can see work order is an option. So right from the till, they can select that and we'll pull up the new work order component of this part of the system. We're already logged into the work orders side of it. So I'll just actually click on this plus add new button. And you can see this is where we'll start taking in the information for a customer. So the very first thing we'll do is we'll pull in our trusty McKinley here. She's our best customer. She shops with us a lot. So we'll pull her up here. Now, one of the really neat functionalities that stores have really loved is this customer history. There's really two components to it. It's going to show past work order history specific to this customer. So any serialized item that she's purchased from us, or any item that doesn't have to be serialized either, but any item she's brought in to have work order, work completed on, it's going to generate this past work order history here, and we can see it. The other side is the purchase history side. So this is any serialized item that she's bought from us. So you could certainly have one show up in one area, but not the other. Or, in this case, maybe she's purchased an item from us here a year ago and she's just bringing it back in for her annual service. She's never had it serviced before. That one would show up in the purchase history, but not in the work order history. And vice versa, maybe she bought something online and she's never, she didn't buy it from us initially, but she has had it worked on previously. That would show up in this work order history here rather than the purchase history. Okay. So they're not mutually exclusive or anything like that either, but you do have access to that as well. Now, the cool thing is when you select one of those, it's going to backfill the information about the product. We'll skip that today, though. I'll just kind of show you how to go from scratch. So you'll input the customer information. If this is part of a school repair, you can tie these over to a customer purchase order. We'll do another video that talks about that specifically. You can declare the value of the item here as well if you'd like to do that. Item attributes are just additional descriptions. This is where you'll input your make and model. So we'll call this our Teton 10th anniversary. And then at this point, we can go ahead and we can input our serial number. We can also, and we'll flag it here. If you do have serialized history on it, it would flag it here, and you can tie this product to something that's been purchased in the past too. But for this one, this is obviously just a random number I've input there, so we have no history on it. We do have the ability to document any accessories that the customer brought in with them, case, strap, whatever the case may be, capo sitting in the bag as well. Whatever it is, you can go ahead and document that here as well. One of the really cool tools is you can add imaging You can have as many images for the repair as you want. This is really good for, as your technicians get into a repair, they find additional things that are wrong with the product. They can document that and associate them right here. These can actually print out on the receipt ticket as well, or the work order ticket if you'd like them to. But you can go ahead and input those. Now, some really other neat tools here. You can identify a bin location. This is where you're storing the repair work, or the product as you're doing the repair work, I should say. And then this is where you can go ahead and input information about the job. Now, the way that the work order tool functions is based on jobs, and one product or item that you're servicing can have multiple jobs. So as you can see, I've got a create new job button. So yeah, you can have as many different jobs associated with one work order as you'd like. All right, now the other really neat tool that's been a huge time saver is this templates tool. So I've built some out in this test site here, but you can have all of your common jobs that you do set up right here. I'll go and I'll select basic setup. You can see what it's going to do is it's going to bring in the title of the job. It's going to give me a summary, or my technicians a summary of what they need to get done or what's included in the work. And then the best part is it's actually going to bring in the items and the services that are associated to this job, and it's pre-populated for you. As you know, the items that we use for the job will deduct out of our inventory for those products as well. We can always add more too. So, our basic setup includes these 2 items, but maybe we're going extra for this customer. They want to upgrade the strings or whatever the case may be. You can always add additional materials and service here as well. Okay, so and this is always editable. Like, even if I have this set up as a template, I can drop these out, or I can edit the pricing or what have you. And so these are great. Now, you don't have to use templates. If it's a random job that comes in that's really unique, you've never done something like this before, and probably never going to do it again, you could certainly input this information manually and not have to have utilized a template. But I'll tell you, the templates is the big time saver. So our stores have really, really loved that. Okay. Now we can come in here. We can request a deposit that needs to be made for the product. You can do multiple deposits if you'd like to do that as well. Create your internal notes. These all stay in house, right? So these aren't going to populate onto the work order ticket or anything like that. And then receipt comments. These do populate onto the work order, receipt as well. So you will want to keep that in mind. That you're putting, it's all customer sensitive information there. Now you do see a text contact field. So this is one of the areas in the system that you can just kind of freeform go in and text the customer, and it will keep kind of a running log of the text message interactions between you and the customer. So you can provide status updates, ask a question, whatever the case may be. You're reaching out to the customer right here, and their response will populate here for you. You can also assign this to a technician as well. So they know exactly what they need to work on and everything like that. Again, you can add additional jobs to it. But at this point, we'll just go and we'll save it. And as you can see here, it's going to populate now into our master work orders. And we'll close out of that. But you can kind of see there's the work order right there. Now, as my technician is working on this, they would obviously just click into the work order. They've got it pulled up. They'll be able to status the job as they're working on it. Okay, so we'll say this one's pending approval. You can work it through the different statuses. One tool I really want to show you here, though, is when the technician marks this as ready for pickup and they come down here and they hit save, you're going to get a prompt from the system. It's going to say, hey, you're done with the work. How are we going to notify the customer that the work's complete? And you can see you can do that via text or via email or both. Okay, so it really provides a high level of communication with the customer. It's going to fire that email out or that text message out, let the customer know that the work is complete and it's ready to be picked up. At this point, you can go ahead and send that. I'm going to skip it or cancel out of it today, but it does give me the chance to actually move it over into the register as well. So I'll do that. As you can see, it's going to pull up the work order. It'll pull up the customer. It's going to have the work order associated here, and we're going to be able to go ahead and cash out the customer at this point. So I'll go ahead and I'll do that. Now this work order is complete. We're done with it, and we're ready to move on to our next project for the day. So that's a really basic look at the work orders function. If you have any additional questions about that, or you want to see it more in depth, please feel free to reach out to us. You can reach support always at 385-404-6200, and look forward to hearing from you, and look forward to chatting with you again soon.